Local experts in Australia urge communities to prepare for what is likely to be the most significant bushfire season. Sheina Selim reports.
The Australian Fire Authorities Council forecasted a grim outlook of high bushfire risk in most parts of the country. According to the council, most parts of Australia are likely to experience an increased risk of bushfires due to forecasts of above-average temperatures, decreased rainfall, high fuel loads, and changing weather patterns. Emergency authorities wasted no time putting large swathes of the country on high alert for bushfire this spring. Areas at increased risk of bushfire include regions in Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia, and the Northern Territory. The devastating Black Summer bushfire season in Australia that took place between 2019 to 2020 burned more than 24 million hectares and claimed dozens of lives. Nearly 500 million mammals, birds, and reptiles also perished from the deadly blazes. Earlier this year, experts predicted that more than 2,400 lives will be lost to bushfires in Australia by 2030. Reporting from New South Wales, this is Sheina Selim, SMNI News, Australia.
Wagner's boss Yevgeny Prigozhin is feared dead, but there's still no confirmation whether he was really on board with the Wagner jet that crashed in Russia. And since then, uncertainty has surrounded his fate. Let's find out what we know so far on Carlo de la Peña's report.
Many were shocked when reports emerged that the plane supposedly carrying Yevgeny Prigozhin, chief of the Russian paramilitary group Wagner, crashed in Russia with no survivors. The Emergencies Ministry of Russia confirmed that the jet plunged to the ground in the region. There were 10 people listed, including 3 crew and 7 passengers. The ministry said that the jet, an Embraer 135 BJ Legacy 600, was traveling from Moscow to St. Petersburg at the time of the said incident. Russian Federal Air Transport Agency Rosaviatsia said that the Wagner chief was on board, along with several high-ranking Wagner commanders, including Vladimir Utkin, the alleged co-founder of Wagner. The Russian Investigative Committee and the government of Tver region are currently investigating the matter. Meanwhile, although the Russian Air Transport Agency listed Prigozhin's name, they did not explicitly confirm that he was dead. And a non-confirmation leaves uncertainty regarding the fate of Wagner and its controversial boss. In fact, as of Wednesday evening, Russian officials said that they only discovered 8 bodies and none had been named by that time. Some Russian media outlets said that Prigozhin's plane tail number was RA02795. Another report by flight tracking site Flight Radar 24 said that a second plane linked to Prigozhin with the tail number RA02878 departed Moscow shortly after the first plane. But this plane turned around after the first jet crashed. A report from Al Jazeera also said that Prigozhin's phone was found at the crash site, but not his body. As for the Embraer plane that crashed, Brazilian makers have said that they have stopped giving any support for such aircraft in 2019 due to sanctions. Meanwhile, the Kremlin and the Russian Defense Ministry have yet to respond to the crash. Telegram groups linked to Wagner released a statement asking the media and other Telegram channels not to publish unverified data and messages. The crash happened at a time that President Vladimir Putin was in the Kursk region in Russia to deliver a speech for the 80th anniversary of the Battle of Kursk and Russian forces. Prigozhin was known as Putin's chef by the media, and his fame surged for leading the battle for Bakhmut against Ukrainian forces. Months ago, he led a short-lived mutiny in Russia against its top military brass, but this move was not taken lightly by Putin, who called the mutiny a betrayal, treason, and a stab in the back. But as part of an agreement to end the mutiny, Prigozhin was exiled to Belarus and all charges against him were dropped. However, he was still able to travel back and forth from Belarus to Russia and was photographed with an African official during the sidelines of the Russian-Africa Summit in St. Petersburg. His latest video address was shot in Africa, where he declared that Wagner would recruit more men and declared that he would make Africa even freer and will fight ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and other bandits. Reporting, this has been Carlo de la Peña, SMNI.
India made history after its Chandrayaan-3 made a touchdown on the moon. Justin Nazario has the story.
India's space agency ISRO achieved a historic milestone by successfully soft-landing the Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft on the moon's south pole. This achievement, marking India as the first nation to do so, holds immense significance for space exploration. The lander Vikram detached from its propulsion module last week and has been sending lunar surface images since entering orbit on August 5. Its rover Pragyan has now begun exploration, transmitting data and images during its 2-week operational span. Pragyan reportedly ramped down from the lander and took a walk on the moon, as said by the Indian Space Agency. The successful landing, accomplished with a budget of $74.58 million, underscores India's cost-effective approach to space endeavors. This feat places India in a handful of lunar explorers alongside the US, Russia, and China. Prime Minister Narendra Modi termed it a triumph for humanity, while global figures like Elon Musk praised the achievement. The soft landing of Chandrayaan-3 happened while BRICS leaders are in South Africa for a summit. President Cyril Ramaphosa, Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, and his in-person representative, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, congratulated Modi for the historic event. ISRO's future plans include crewed missions, joint ventures with Japan, and an orbital mission to Venus within 2 years. Reporting, this has been Yasin Azaria as Gemini News.